Hey, Brandon, do you have any updates on Soroller and Santander?
Yeah, Santander is very close to starting baseball activity. So actually, he's walking, he's jogging now, and he's really close to getting going from a baseball standpoint. So once you kind of get started there, then it's about getting at bats and getting ready and getting in game shape. So hopefully he's a week, 2 weeks away. Soroller's doing well, throwing well. I think he had a side possibly today. He's progressing with his arm also, and both those guys are heading in the right direction.
Rich Dubroff, go ahead.
Brandon, are you any closer to naming a starter for tomorrow?
I'm going to kind of wait right now just because we're unsure about the weather situation tonight. So let you know as soon as possible.
Nathan Ruiz, go ahead.
Hey, Brandon. Chris Hall got asked this earlier, and I'm curious what your thoughts are. What do you remember your first impressions of John Means being, and how have those changed over time?
Oof. Well, that spring training 19, I was trying to get to know everybody, and it was like I just didn't know many players. I knew Cashner and Dylan Bundy, but Cobb, but not a whole lot of familiar faces, and so. I watched Meansy. I remember a game he threw in Tampa. He gave up a couple of homers. I really liked his arm. I was asking questions about him. I saw he had a pretty good changeup. I don't think it was the changeup that we saw on the opening series in New York. That's when obviously he really caught my attention of a guy that could get major league hitters out. Like it's been well reported. He made our team because of the lack of starting pitching we had and the amount of length that we needed in our bullpen. And if a guy had a starter profile that was on the roster, we could use him. And he went and pitched great in New York, gave him an opportunity to start, and he's taken it and run with it and just pitching outstanding.
John Mioli, go ahead.
Brandon, obviously you didn't have to use any relievers on Wednesday and then the off day today. What does that do? What does 2 days of just clean, no use rest for those guys do at this course of the season?
I think it's huge. Yeah, I think it's huge. We were in good shape 2 days ago. We were guys are pretty rested. I had a couple guys down for that day that means a start, but to give it as many breathers as possible right now, I think is fantastic. And it was really, really nice. It came before an off day to give even an extra day, and our guys are ready to go.
Mark Viviano, go ahead.
Hey, Brandon, this may seem like a leading question after a guy throws a no-hitter, but I was planning to ask you anyway. You talk about hitting being contagious. Is there anything about pitching and successful pitching that spreads on a staff, or would that be a stretch?
No, I do. I think that when you have competitive guys in your clubhouse, I think guys try to stay with the guys that are doing well. And so from a rotation standpoint, I think that you can feed off each other, and you can compete internally too, a little bit of how guys are throwing. You're obviously pulling for each other big time, but you want to keep up with guys that are doing well. And I've definitely seen pitching being contagious. I think also you watch somebody the way they pitch against a certain team, and you can try to emulate that as well. You can see how they're having success. You see what doesn't work, what does work, and if guys are paying attention and I think they can feed off each other on the mound as well.
Steve Molesky, go ahead.
Brandon, are there times in the season you take note of how your team is faring and stacking up against the other division teams for obvious reasons, like you're going to play them so much and you eventually have to beat them out? And, how are the Orioles doing in that regard?
Yeah, I do. I look every day. I look every night. I look at box scores. I watch the highlights every night. And so I know what's going on around the league, what's going on in our division. I know how our teams are playing. Our teams that we're playing a lot are playing. I know obviously the Boston's playing very good baseball right now, and we feel like it wasn't that long ago where we just saw them, and they're very versatile, their lineup, and have really good pitching. And Eduardo Rodriguez has had a lot of success against us, so we have our work cut out. But yeah, I know exactly what's going on, not only in our division but around the league.
Stan Charles, go ahead.
Brandon, I took my cue from you the other day. You didn't really want to talk about the home plate umpiring and John's no-hitter. I'm just curious, as you watch home umpiring, are you looking forward to the day we get the electronic umpiring behind the plate?
You put me on the spot, Stan. You know what? I do like the human aspect of our game. I haven't come to the point where I'm ready for that yet.
Melanie Newman, go ahead.
Brandon, without asking you to divulge any secrets here, how was the flight back home after that game? Not just for the team, but for you too to have such a big day.
Well, it was, it was a long flight, so I think we were talking about it a lot early, and then it was kind of a long day, so a lot of us kind of closed our eyes and got some rest on the way back. Day game after a night game, and then a lot of excitement, and then you're sitting on an airplane. But yeah, we enjoyed the moment for sure. The clubhouse celebration was amazing, and everybody was still talking about it when we first took off, and we got in pretty late, so it was definitely winded down about halfway through the flight.